back-to-backs. Like, how do you view back-to-backs, and do you have to coach any differently?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you play the game. How much should you focus on last night and correcting stuff, or analyzing stuff and then preparing for the next game? I know there's some coaches, they just move on to the next game. I like to look at the game last night and analyze, more focus on that. The assistants are more focused on the scout. But I think this back to back is a little better, right? Because we've had some rest days and practice days, so it doesn't feel as kind of a fatigue game it normally is. And then we were lucky to have our minutes down last night. That was important. So guys didn't play heavy minutes. So it's kind of how we look at this particular one.
We were looking back at the runs you guys have made this year, and there's been 30 times where you've had a run of at least 10 points in a game, which is also the most in the league.
Huh.
How impactful is a run like that in a game?
We had one last night, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's super impactful. And it doesn't surprise me because we got such good we shoot the ball so well. So usually it's bang bang, 3-3, layup or dunk, and that gets a crowd into it like it did last night. So it's impactful, and that's how you get to separate. That separation, those runs, that can be kind of lights out for the other team, and it's interesting. Great stat. Did not know that.
Chris.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Chris.
Stats are what they are, but you guys are 10-1 with Dean Wade in the starting lineup. Why do you think it works so well with him, Jared, and Evan together in the front court?
Defense, and you still get the spacing, so we got size. Those guys can switch. All three of them you saw last night with Giannis. It was like switch down the line where, normally if you're not switching to get separation. So that's huge. And then, Dean gives you the spacing, so you're getting kind of the best of both worlds. And you saw Dean last night on the perimeter, attacking closeouts. Like he's got size to shot fake and get in the lane. So really adds a lot of positive things.
Thank you.
Jackson.
Yesterday, Giannis brought up after the game that there was a play in the second quarter where he had a dunk, and you guys inbounded it without dribbling, and then threw it up to Sam Merrill for like a quick three.
Man, that was my favorite play of the game. Yeah.
Why are plays like that so impactful and so memorable?
We've been emphasizing that, and like pace after makes. We even did a silly little drill, in practice, where the coach would make it, and guy would have to run, take it out. High outlet is important on that, right, to get it up the court, and then you get that advanced pass, which are all high value things. And this is what's great about this team. Like you do things in practice, they actually apply it. Like they're so coachable, and sometimes in the NBA that can, it's hit or miss whether it translates, and they've applied that to see that one in action. Something we've been emphasizing, something we think is important, and that bang bang like that was pretty cool.
If you're on the other end of that, how demoralizing is that?
Yeah, it is, because you're like, every coach's nightmare is getting dinged in transition, right? Like, because you think it's a lack of effort, but when the ball's in that quick, it's tough to get matched up.
Danny.
I know it's obviously easier to run off misses, run off live ball turnovers, stuff like that, but how challenging is it to drill into playing at the pace you want to play at in terms of being a little bit more up tempo after a made basket by the other team?
Really challenging, because I think the kind of the old school NBA way was after a make, run a play, set your play, coach calls 4 side, 5 up, and that's not the way we want to play. We think it's better to get the ball out quick and get get to our spots, and with the defense jumbled. It's a higher value play, and especially with the the talent we have and the shooting we have. Now there's other teams that they will call a play and they'll set up and that fits their roster, and I just feel like this, with our speed and skill, it fits us better.
And then with Max, as he was coming back, so much of it was how he responds to certain things. How did he respond to
really
the
well?
Game last night?
Really well. Still going to stick with the plan. Kind of, had to fight him on it, which is great, right? But 3 and 4, all that. Haven't played the game in 8 months. It just makes sense. I don't want to get ahead of but don't anticipate that being a thing going forward with the back-to-backs. I think he'll be able to bounce back. We'll see, but he's trending, excuse me, in a great direction.
Nate.
Hey Kenny, last night you said something about the camaraderie.
Yeah.
You said that guys enjoy each other and they enjoy making fun of each other, and that's usually the case in the locker room. I was wondering, how much behind the scenes does that go on, where guys are joking around?
A lot, and they make fun of me a lot, which is it's fun, and I joke with them. So we just got that, typical kind of locker room banter going on. It's always in good humor. We joke with each other. We just showed Darius's missed dunk on video, and then showed Tristan's attempt at a and the guys just go, it just kind of steamrolls from there, and it's great, great for the banner, great for some laughs, loosens the room up, and then we got to our shoot around and locked in. So it's just that kind of atmosphere that we're trying to foster, and it fits this group.
How important is humor through the course of the grind of a season, and then who would you say is your funniest guy? Who cracks you up the most?
Humor is so important. Through the grind, as you say. George Niang, he's what a personality. He's probably number one on the list. Darius is a sneaky second. He'll come out of the closet and give a zinger. But George is just constant. He's like night at the Improv, and it's great. He really sets the tone for that kind of joyous locker room.
Coach, last night it didn't feel like you guys were playing to score. You guys were playing the game and how you wanted to implement your principles and your habits that'll get you further. How important is that to see your team relish those moments?
It's a good observation, because I always usually ask the players feedback on the game before, and that was one. Jared Allen said that. He said, what I was most proud of, we didn't play to the score. We kept our standards high, even though we were up a bunch, and that's a sign of a mature team. Most team I've been on, you get a lead, it just for sure it's gonna get reduced, especially against an excellent team like that. But our guys, they really have they know they're mature enough to handle leads, and I'd say that's been pretty consistent over the season.
Earlier in the season, Tristan had to have a conversation with the guys post-game. I believe it was the Warriors game.
Yeah.
You guys were up big at halftime and kind of dwindled a little bit. When you talk about the growth of this team, the maturity of this team, to listen to that, especially a guy like T2 who's been to a championship, and then to grow in that aspect, what does that say about you guys? Yeah,
well, first it speaks of Tristan's leadership, right? He's the one guy that's been there and done it. He's part of the fabric of this organization, and big help to me and the players. But like I said, they're so coachable. You say something once, it usually translates. They usually take it to heart, and they apply it. That's another one of the positive aspects of this team.
Last one, Chris.
Kenny, you mentioned that the guys poke fun at you. What about you? Do they target usually?
It could be any, right? I got nutmegged the other day in soccer, right? I was a goalie, and that made it to the video. So we give our video guys, it's like our improv. They can put what they want on it. I'm trying to think what I got. It was a bad hair day. They got a picture of me back when I was with the Knicks, and I had the mullet, and but everybody now they pick 4 other players, right? Like, you know, Tristan at Debray, like they get you. They're gonna find stuff, you know, and we just have we have a hoot. We really laugh a lot.
Do you miss the mullet?
Yes. I don't know, you know. Sometimes I think, you know, long hair when you start to get older, it actually makes you look younger. But a lot of people disagree with that.